Hello viewers, today is not just an ordinary Thursday night session, but today is the BIKC, well known as the British Indoor Karting Championship, where the best drivers around the nation battle it out for the trophy. And today I'm going to be competing in it at locals. The drivers here are amazing, so it's going to be hard. I'll be driving against very good drivers including Luke, Frederick, Stefan, Sahib. These drivers who are always at the top of the leaderboards, I'm battling them tonight. And hopefully I can win this or maybe get on the podium. We'll have to find out. But first, I would really appreciate if you like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and make sure to comment. Hopefully you enjoy the video, and yes, without further ado, let's get into it. So the format is split into two groups. One group will go out and the other group will have a break. There's a practice session which is 15 minutes and then a qualifying session which is also 15 minutes. The fastest drivers in the qualifying from both groups go to the A final and the slowest 12 go to the B final. The B final is very intense. The winner of that then proceeds to go through to the A final, which is technically the grand final, the final race. And that's what I'm aiming to do. I do not want to be in the B final because it's going to be very difficult to win. And there's only one spot up for grabs. So now I'm driving in this practice session and I'm in group 2. So I've had 15 minutes. So I've actually had a chance to see the track warm up and learn which karts are good and which aren't very good. The people in the first session were absolutely miles faster than I was. In this session, I was just looking to get back into the flow because I hadn't been at the track for quite a couple of weeks and I knew I was at a disadvantage to other drivers who'd come to the Monday sessions a few days before this. So learning the track, I've got that, but coming back and adjusting to it after a few weeks is quite tricky. And I do want to improve my racecraft during this practice session. So I was going for lots of overtakes and trying to follow and get better at my lines here in this track. Driver ahead of me is Dominic. I was trying to get past him, so I used the boost down the ramp and actually managed to get in front of him. And I sort of held it, but I didn't cover the inside and he was already there, so I couldn't defend it. Unfortunately, penalties are very important, and if you get a penalty, it could be over for you. You see, you have two chances. You could get a penalty, and then if you get another penalty, it's a black flag. And getting a penalty early on is just not worth it. It's really bad, not just for you, but for your grid positions and for future heats and races. So now I've actually got ahead of Dominic. It was a pretty hard move, but I managed to hold it on, and I learned from my mistake, covering the inside as quickly as possible, not letting him have a chance. Now I was trying to get ahead of this driver, and to be honest, I was noticing throughout the session my kart was not that bad until I realised going down this straight it wouldn't turn left. It was extremely difficult and my arms were really hurting from it. I had to lean too and it just wasn't helping. But I was behind this driver for quite a bit now and I knew I could overtake him down this ramp. And I used the boost, looked to my left and see he wasn't there anymore. So now we're ahead of him, we got a nice clean air. So after a couple of laps, I've actually caught up to this driver ahead of me. And before the session, I was sure that I'd get at least a 22-second lap. But so far, I haven't even got into the 22s. And this is quite concerning, since if I'm not getting into the 22s, there's no chance I'm going to get into the grand finals. Thankfully though, this driver lets me ahead and probably just wants to use me as a benchmark since he knows I'm fast around here. But I was struggling, and for once I was like, maybe I'm actually just slow, and I was really worried. I was pushing the kart so much, but as you can see here, I turned normally there. Other karts, it all perfectly turned, but there it was just going a bit wide, and I was losing so much time from that. I also heard other drivers report that this kart wasn't good, and during this session, I should have gone into the pit lane and changed kart. However, I was just too focused and maybe thought I could get something out of it. This was just practice though, so I wasn't as concerned as I should be. However though, it's not good. And as this session ends, I'm not happy. I did a 22.8, which is very fast to be honest, but I'm 6 tenths off Luke. Luke managed to get the track record in the practice session and did a 22.293, which is unbelievably rapid. But I have noticed that if I take a long break from karting, I will be slower through my first couple of sessions. But I know and I knew that I would ramp up and eventually get faster. I also reported it to the staff that this kart wasn't good, and I'm pretty sure it got taken out the fleet. I may be wrong, but on to the qualifying. You're right. Now, I was in shock. Somehow I managed to get kart 13, and last time I got my record time in this. I managed to get 22.379, and out of literally everyone, I may have got the best kart in the fleet, possibly. But I knew there were faster karts out there, but I knew this was going to be a guaranteed top 5 at least, just like Luke pointed out to me. However though, this qualifying session was probably one of my worst, although I did very well. A lot of drivers were trying to battle and I was just so confused what the point was. I tried to space myself out and just slow down and just let as many people ahead of me as possible. But some drivers were slowing down, I think purposely maybe, and just trying to get behind me, and it just really affected my concentration. And I don't know if it was deliberate, but they probably just did it so they knew I'm fast and just wanted to see if they could get a good time by being behind me. But yeah, it wasn't great and it really affected me. And then someone started defending and it was very confusing. Anyways though, we just get on with it. Now after a couple of laps, I actually had a lot of space and time. I was quite lucky, it was only for a few laps. But as I was coming here, I was on for actually a really good lap, and then this driver decides to stop in a really stupid position and just destroy my whole lap. And I don't know if he was trying to battle me, but it's just like stuff like this, it just doesn't make sense. I understand stopping and getting space, but just stopping and ruining someone else's time is just really silly. Now on to the next couple of laps. Caught up to this driver and defending for no reason. It's not a race, and stuff like this just really annoys me because I don't understand the point. And I'm just like, what did you gain from this? But anyways, you just get on with it. And I don't know if it was deliberate, but it was probably deliberate when I don't understand. And then after this part, like he overtook me, I was like, just had enough. And then I wanted to let Sahib through. I needed him to get some space because it was just affecting me and my concentration, and I just can't like just drive with all this like defending. But yeah, I found some space and then we just get on with it. And yeah, this was a chance to me to get a really good lap, and I knew a really good lap would be under 22.5, which I knew this kart was capable of since I did a 22.3 in it a few weeks prior. So here, one for a good lap, boost down the ramp, head down, really getting everything out of this kart and just full sending it into this corner, and it was very good. I lean a bit just so I could be on the right side of the track, turn left into this corner. It's not the cleanest, but it's alright. We push through, turn through this left apex, and it's a very good exit, and that lap was very good, and I think it was a 22.5, and that actually managed to place us third on the leaderboard. So after a few laps, I've actually caught up to Sahib, Oscar and another driver who keeps defending, and I was just so confused why they were all battling, and I didn't even know if my time was good, so I really wanted to get past them, but I should have slowed down and just let them battle even more because there was a bit of space behind me. But whatever, I just got through them. I went down the inside here, but Oscar already had that inside since he went wide and he re-overtakes me, so I knew I have to be patient. I know I can get the overtake done. So I'm just really angry about this driver at the front just slowing us all down because there's so much space between him and the next driver. So I thought I could overtake them both, but here Oscar does the same thing and leaves the inside open. But here I actually lose a bit of the car, but I managed to keep it and go to the inside. So now I overtake him. And keep in mind, this is qualifying, so I don't know why I was doing this, but whatever, we just get on with it. And personally, I think this driver ahead of me should have got a penalty. It was a bit unsafe. Like, I saw some of his moves before, and just slowing everyone up and qualifying. But yeah, he didn't get one in the end. So the session ends, and I was really angry. Thankfully, though, I managed to get third place. And as you can see on my reaction, I just did not realize I got third. But whatever, we got third place, and it's enough. And now for the race, we start fifth. Since the other group, there were two other drivers who were faster than me. So now we've got a lot of work to do. We need top 6 for the BIKC qualification. Let's see what we can do. So coming up to the grid, I thought I started on the inside, but they decided to put first place on the outside, so that meant I was on the outside, which is not great. But yeah, I have Frederick ahead of me, and on my left I do have Oscar, and ahead I have Dom and Theo. So I'm in a decent position, and all I need is top 6. But prior to the race, I told Frederick that let's work together and let's try to get a first and a second. Since I know Frederick's a very good driver, I always see him doing outdoor karting, indoor karting somewhere, and he did very well last year making nationals. So I knew if I just kept behind him, I'd do very well. So we're just waiting for the race to start, and I'm very nervous in the car. But I knew I could do it, and let's see. So now we're just waiting for the red lights to go green. And it went pretty suddenly. I wasn't really expecting it, but I got a good, decent start. And now we're just waiting and praying that I get a good start. And it goes green. We quickly go to the inside and cover this driver on my left. And we're in 5th place, so we've managed to keep it for the first corner. I see Frederick head nearly going around the outside, since there's more grip on the outside. And here Frederick actually managed to get the inside, and I follow him through. And I sort of get the job done, but Oscar's still on my left side. However, I have the inside and managed to hold it. I use boost bar and then boost right back up to Frederick, but I still have to cover the inside, since I know if Oscar goes through, it's going to be very hard. But yes, I managed to get behind Frederick, and now I'm just going to follow him through. So going through turn 1 now, keep it nice and steady, and here I tell Frederick to just focus, because the first place and second place have already made a huge margin to us. So he actually defends here, and I think he knew I was going to go for an overtake, even though I wasn't. I could have gone for the overtake, but I knew that it just wasn't worth battling for third place, where first and second could be up for grabs. Now these drivers ahead of us, I've heard they weren't as good, and apparently their karts were very good. So me and Frederick worked together, and we're going to try and catch up to first and second. So I've actually seen that Frederick's caught up to the guys in first and second, so working together was very good. And here he has a chance to overtake one of them, but he's just a bit too far back. So it looks like we're just going to have to wait another lap. But I've had to not use my boost that lap, because the boost on my car kept on going forward. So what happens when you use the boost, normally it should come back to you where the last place you pressed it. But for me, it was coming like 2 seconds later and really affecting me. However, though, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, as other drivers, their boost wasn't working. So here, Frederick has a little look down the inside, and I knew he'd get the overtake soon, where I would just follow through and get the job done. So here he looks behind. I still think he thinks I'm going to try to overtake him, but I wasn't. Just trying to follow him through, that's literally it. So here, I think he sees the move and goes down the inside, gets a lovely little move, and defends the inside. Now here, he actually covers the inside, and I feel like he slowed down. I wasn't too sure why, but after I looked back at the footage, I realised that he was trying to help me overtake him. But this driver didn't cover the inside in time, and I managed to go down it. However, though, I used the boost button, so I didn't have any boost down here. Thankfully, though, I covered the inside and managed to get the job done. Now, the other drivers, such as Luke, Stefan, Sahib, they had very bad qualification, which meant that I didn't actually have to think too much about them coming back and trying to catch us. So as you can see, Frederick and Dom have pulled away hugely, and as you can see ahead, Frederick goes down the inside and gets the job done. I was shocked how fast he did that in 2 laps. Dom still tries to hold it inside, but is forced to the outside and can't hold it. So now he's lost 2nd position. So now's my chance to try snatch it from him. 5 laps later, I'm right on his tail. And as you can see, Frederick's literally in another postcode at this point. I don't know if this driver was defending or going slow, but I thought I was going pretty fast, so I was just confused. But when I just looked up and saw Frederick, I was like, there's got to be a chance I could catch him. Thankfully though, I overtake Dom on the inside and go a bit defensive up the ramp. Managed to get 2nd place. As you can see, Frederick's around 10 seconds ahead of me. And at this point, I knew there wasn't a huge chance I could catch him unless he caught up to a back marker and somehow the back marker held him up. So I was on the hunt to catch him, but I sort of realised that I couldn't really catch him. He was just literally mirroring my lap times, and I knew it was pretty much over. But 2nd place was still very good. And as you can see, there was a huge scramble for the rest of the spots as they were needed to be filled for the regional finals. So to be honest, for the rest of the race, I was pretty much driving in a ghost town. I was just trying to keep it clean, consistent, and not trying to give the other drivers a chance. However, though, when I was driving, I overtook a driver, and for some reason, I got a penalty, and I wasn't too sure what I got it for. And I felt like the move was very clean, and I'm not too sure if they were holding it at me or another driver, but I managed to get a penalty for some reason. It wasn't great, but yeah, this was pretty much my race for the rest of the session, and it wasn't the greatest, but we managed to get P2, and for my first time, I'm very pleased with myself. And I kept looking ahead to see if there was any chance I was catching it, and I was really pushing the kart, but at the back of my mind, I just knew there wasn't the greatest or biggest chance I could catch up to him. And as last year, I knew that he won the regionals, and then he won the locals and nearly won the nationals. So it was pretty much over for me, and now I just had to sit in 2nd. So after 30 laps, the race was over, and I got 2nd in BIKC finals at locals. I was extremely happy. I've had so many emotions and so many doubts that I would do well, and I somehow pulled it back. And I'm not going to lie, I will say it is thanks to the kart. The kart extremely helped me, but also just being at Acton for a lot. The members' nights really helped me. And all the staff members and drivers who helped me get 2nd place, I really appreciate it. And yes, as you can see, Frederick was already parked up and I was just coming in. And it was quite funny actually. But yeah, I managed to get P2 in BIKC locals, which to me is just shocking, since I got other great drivers behind me. But in the end, Frederick, me, Steph, Luke, Theo and Dom managed to qualify for the BIKC regional finals. So I appreciate you people for watching. It's been a really hard year, but I've managed to get through it and qualified for the regional finals. So yes, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And here's a picture of me standing on the podium. I mean, yeah, just look how good I look. And yes, this is just me congratulating Frederick on winning. And Luke comes, since he started 10th, and managed to come back to get 6th place, which is really crazy, especially in this tournament. Very difficult, but he managed to do it, which I'm very proud of him. And yes, we actually did it. So now, on to regionals. See you guys next time.